Hello, guys. Welcome in. This is RandoGEEK. All right, guys. So I want to thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoy what I have in store for you. So this is just a little something that I wanted to do, and I think I want to do something like this a little more often. We'll see how it goes, but pretty much I just want to spend some time recapping certain subjects. Okay, this is something that I think I'm gonna do on a regular basis, once in a while, not daily, maybe not even weekly, from time to time. We'll see. However, I think it is important because obviously I do the daily tech news videos, right? And in those videos, I talk about, all of the carriers and, bring to you the latest information. And then I give you, a little bit of information on the subject and how I feel about it, right? But I don't want to make those videos super long. Some of them get a little long, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I don't want to go past that. Sometimes I go up to about 20 minutes because if it's something that I really want to talk about, I'll do it. But I may shorten those a little bit and then save them for this. Okay, so this is what I'd like to call a deep dive. During these episodes, I'm going to talk about those subjects in full length. Okay, whatever needs to be discussed, I'm going to discuss it here. I'm going to hash it out. So if there's a subject that's I feel strong about, and I think there's a lot more to it, and I think that there's a conversation that needs to be said or had, that's what this is for. This is going to be a special thing to talk about those subjects in greater detail. Okay? So, T-Mobile has a lot going on lately. Okay? Within the last 2 weeks, and not even 2 weeks, I would say late last week, and then today, we just got dropped with some major news, okay? These subjects, these articles that we're reading about, these two very important things are telling us something. I believe so. We don't have definite proof, okay? But if you read between the lines, the proof is the writing is on the wall, okay? You know it, I know it, they know it. It's just a matter of time, I guess, at this point. All right? So, what am I talking about? Mike Sievert has expressed his love for artificial intelligence on a number of occasions. Okay? He said that he's thinking beyond your everyday 5G wireless carrier, motives, right? He's beyond that, all right? He's gone on record in quite a few articles to show his love for the artificial world. T-Mobile has been partnering with a number of tech giants at this point and doing all kinds of different things. They're dipping their toes in a little bit of everything. And when I say everything, I don't mean everything, but I mean everything innovation-wise. They're learning, they're listening, they're observing, and there's a reason. Okay? They're trying to get ideas. They're trying to get information. Okay? And they're looking to work with the right people to help them achieve their mission. Now, what is their mission? Obviously, their mission is to be the biggest 5G wireless carrier around. They want to knock down Verizon. They want to knock down at&t, Dish, and anyone that stands in their way. They've said it. They are going to be the best. They said it. These are their words. This came from Mike Sievert's words in a number of articles. Not so many words, but in so many words. He's literally said exactly what I just said. Okay? And those are bold statements. There's a lot of confidence in those statements. That means you have an idea of what you're doing. You're on your mission. You're on your grind, right? So I believe that. I believe that they are on their grind when it comes to these types of things. Okay? Say what you want about service not being dependable in certain areas. We know that. They know that. Okay? And it seems like at this point they don't really care about that because they're focused on something bigger. They're big. There is a reason why they need this 5G to be strong. Okay? It's going to help them in their mission. All right? It's also going to interest. It's going to give an interest to bigger companies that they want to work with for their own benefits. Okay? And when I say their own benefits, I mean T-Mobile's own benefits, as well as the companies that are working with them. But T-Mobile has a mission. And I think, given the information that we've seen recently, and even before that, I was going to drop this video Saturday. Okay? I was going to drop this video Saturday, right after we got information about the fees. Okay? At that time, though, the fees were literally just, speculation, right? It wasn't guaranteed. Then we got an article, which pretty much clarified the whole thing and stamped it, approved that it's happening. It's final. All right? We all know how disappointing that news sounded. It's debatable, right? I mean, it's 2023. Not many people go into the store to pay their bills. I can't argue that. It's not really the point, though. The point is you should be able to. And for some people, they kind of have no way around it, right? They have to go into the store. It's just how they have to do things. They may be in a situation where online bill pay is just not something they can do. And yeah, I mean, you got to try to clean up your life and get your life together. But for some people, they just can't. So the point is you should have the option and you shouldn't be charged for it. I mean, that's not the traditional way of doing it, especially if you're paying in cash. There's just no need for you to charge your customers that. It's just not very business savvy. It's not very clever unless you don't care, unless there's deeper reasons for this, right? Maybe you don't care if they leave, or maybe you do, but you're willing to take the risk to see how much it affects you, maybe. Either way, if you have a mission, if you have a ultimate goal behind your motive here, your reason for doing this, then you may not care. So with that news, the fee, and now the recent news of the layoffs, right? These layoffs are the marketing teams pretty much for T-Mobile that does mostly their social media, right? So these are the T4 support centers. They handle the Twitter accounts, the Instagram accounts, whatnot. A lot of people turn to them for information and advice. Apparently, they're preferred over their, customer service lines that you call for your team of experts. Okay? So, T-Mobile doesn't care. They're letting them go. Those are two very big things going on within less than 2 weeks. And it's not just T-Mobile, all right? I'm not going to sit here and bash T-Mobile. That's not what this conversation is about. Like I say every time, I don't play favorites, right? I use them all. However, I'm going to call it when I see it. When one of these companies steps out of line and does things that are inaccurate or like irrational or just not good, I'm going to call it. I'm going to talk about it. And that's specifically what this segment is going to be about. So I can kind of rant about it, without taking up too much time on a daily video. The shorter videos, which are meant to just get the reports out there, give you a little bit of how I feel and then move on with it. That's what this is for. These are going to be a little longer, a little more informative, or a little bit more informative of how I feel about it. And then you guys could agree or disagree because, we all have our opinions. So those are two very impactful things that they're doing right now. It's going to shake up the company for sure and how people are feeling about it. Verizon tried this, right? Verizon's doing this. They went ahead, they raised their plans, they made changes to their plans, which they haven't touched for a very long time. And then they talk about how they're getting rid of their customer service. So, I mean, apparently they're not getting rid of it, but they're moving it overseas, which is it's gonna rattle the cage. It already did. It's gonna rattle it some more if it actually happens when it happens. There's gonna be a lot of people running from Verizon, unfortunately, because they're just not gonna be able to deal with the overseas customer service. They might try it for a little. Probably not gonna last. They're probably gonna leave. But where are they gonna turn is the question, right? So what I'm getting at here is, what am I really saying? I know it sounds like I'm rambling, but I'm getting to something. I'm just trying to warm up. I'm stalling, but not just to waste your time, because I'm trying to like give you the information first before you can see that it's leading up to it. All right. So I think T-Mobile is heading, or at least looking, very, very hard into a world of automation. Okay? Many of you are not going to be surprised by what I just said. I know you've already seen this coming. You feel it's coming, especially if you're in a world of technology and you've seen it, maybe at a company you work for, or you just have good common sense. You're reading the articles. You know what world it is. You know what year it is. You know where everything is heading. Ultimately, that is the goal, I believe, to automate the company. Okay? Why are they charging fees in the store? They don't want you there. Why don't they want you there? They don't want the store. They don't want the store. They don't want the customer service reps. They could save millions, if not billions, of dollars if they eliminate most of their stores and customer service reps. There's no rent on the store. There's no reps to pay. No benefits, no salaries. Huge, huge profits can be made if everything has to be done online, or your plans, or your bill payments. As far as they're concerned, the stores are useless. What, 2 or 3 people go in there? I mean, how many people really go into the store? I mean, I'm sure there's enough. Otherwise, they probably would have closed it years ago. But I don't know. I think they're testing something. Maybe they want to see how many people still come into the store. I think they feel like if they could force you out of the store, then their plan will work. I guess they want to see how this is going to go. They want to see if people will be able to do it. And then, it won't happen overnight. It's not like they're going to shut down every store. They can't do that. But I mean, we're seeing it everywhere, right? You go to the bank. There's like one teller and like 15 ATMs. You know what I mean? This is the world we're heading in. And I definitely think T-Mobile, if any carrier is going to start this revolution, okay, of faceless, customer service kind of thing, where it's all done online. Maybe you have one person who's probably going to be overseas working the chat, talking to 20 people at once. I mean, Visible is doing this. They have a chat. It's working. Most prepaid companies have a chat, and it works. Right? It works. People deal with it. When you need to talk to Visible, you go onto their chat. You can't call their number. They don't have one. And that's part of the reason why Visible is so cheap. No store, no employees in the store, and they can pass the savings on to us, the customers. So that's what T-Mobile is going to do. I think, ultimately, they've said it on a number of occasions. They're innovative. They're looking to, do everything AI and automation is definitely going to be something I think they're going to work on. You know, that is my opinion. And I really think that if T-Mobile does do this, I think, unfortunately, others will follow. I think AT&T will follow. I think Verizon will follow. It's just a matter of time before they figure out a way for it to work for them. Every company has to do it their way and figure out the costs, and because it's not easy and it's a long process for some. Some are faster than others. But I really do think this is something that we might start to see. Because I can't figure out, why they would start charging fees in the store. Then you're letting your teams go. And this is not going to be it. There was more teams let go earlier this year. And you can say, well, that's old Sprint people. And it's just the beginning. And only time will tell. Only time will tell. We'll see how many more reports come out within the next couple of weeks or months about how they're getting rid of people and, how they're getting rid of staff. And we'll see what kind of staff. We'll see what other things come out about, like retail. Like if they do anything else to retail. Like we hear reports about like less stores. Like if they start closing more stores. I know they've already closed like one or two big stores. So we'll see if they continue with this trend. And then that'll pretty much be your indication or your proof that this is what's happening. I think we're already getting enough proof. The fees in the store, the T-Force team being let go. Just a matter of time before we hear about. I mean, already the team of experts, a lot of those reps are being transferred. Like when you call now during the day, there's a couple that are in the U.S., but if you call certain times of the day, and I mean during the day, not at night, you get transferred overseas. You get transferred to what the business lines have, which the business lines are pretty much overseas at this point. And that's happening slowly with my team of experts, which is supposed to be U.S. based for consumers. But we're starting to see that overseas. So it's just so much easier for them, And if, like I said, if they get rid of the stores, they get rid of the brick and mortar shops, they save tons of money on a retail location, right? The employees are gone, no benefits. They don't need it. They don't need it. They're basically saying you have to learn how to do everything online. Maybe they'll keep one or two stores open just for the people that don't know how to do it, for as long as they have to. Then at some point it's just going to be inevitable where like you're just going to have to learn. You're going to have to learn how to do things online. And if you don't know how to do it, someone is going to have to teach you. That's it. That's just how it's going to be. And the reason why I really think this, besides, in addition, should I say, to why I believe this too, T-Mobile's partnering with Dell to work on their tech experience for the 5G hub. All right. Dell is a computer company and they're working on all kinds of things. Okay. All right. They're working on all kinds of things for this cloud-based products, services, a way to basically get work done faster and easier. All right. Without people, So I definitely think that this could be something we might see more of. They've also talked about the innovation and the artificial intelligence for trying to see why customers left. So that's not really an indication, but again, it just further proves that they have such a very strong passion for innovation, and they want to be that company that's like Apple. you know, very tech savvy, you know. So it'll also, if they move more into like automated type of service industry, if they go more into that direction, they can be considered more like a tech company rather than a wireless carrier company. It will open new doors. They can maybe even start offering new kinds of services, you know, more cloud-based services. So, it's a really, like, I mean, it's a really good way to kind of line yourself up if you think about it, you know. Again, I don't have any proof. This is pure speculation, but we're starting to see more of this. And I know many of you are going to agree, okay? Many of you are going to agree that this is where this is going. We don't know when, we don't know how, but we have a very good idea this is where this is going. All right? And I don't think anyone can say otherwise at this point. And I don't think they'll be the only one. I think they might be the first. I think they'll definitely be the first because they have what it takes right now. It's all over. They're partnering with the right people that know this industry, know the automation industry, that have the right, right tools to get it done. So, I don't know. We'll see. I definitely think this is where this is going. All right, guys. I don't want to take too much time. The first time I'm testing this out. But let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know if you want more of this. And let me know how you feel about this subject. Because we're seeing a lot of changes here with T-Mobile. And unfortunately, due to the way the economy is and how everything is going, we're going to see more of this from all the carriers. Because they're all trying to find a way to stay on top. And they all put themselves in a position now with 5G that they basically put more on their plate that they can handle. AT&T, Verizon, struggling. I mean, they're doing their build-outs. So credit is due, and so is T-Mobile. But it's a struggle because it's very expensive. And it's hard for them to raise money. A lot of people are leaving these big carriers and going to MVNOs. So they're not making much money anymore. Here's another thing. This is where it'll get interesting. If T-Mobile does automate and they take away that face-to-face customer experience, it's like I said with Verizon. When I first found out that they want to ship customer service reps overseas, they want to ship the customer experience overseas. So you have a Verizon plan. Like I said, you're paying $90 a month. Now you're going to be talking to someone overseas who may not really understand what your problem is. Or maybe you don't feel like they do. Or maybe you just don't want to talk to them. You want to talk to somebody in the United States. There's a lot of people that's how it is. They just don't want to deal with that. They don't like it. They don't like the penny pinching coming from a company side, right? They don't want it. Especially if you're paying for that $90 postpaid experience and you're getting that watered down, grind, it's like sludge, service, that you should be paying $20 a month for. But you're paying $90 for credit checks and, all this stuff that like you would feel like you're on a premium plan and make you feel good about yourself. And, but yet you're going to start feeling like you're on a prepaid service, but you're just paying a lot of money for it. How long do you think that's going to last? Not only that, why would you bother doing that? Why would you stay with them? Why wouldn't you jump on Visible? It's half the price, less than half the price, like I've been saying. So that's the same thing with T-Mobile. If they take away that customer service experience, you can't go into stores anymore. You can't pay your bill in the store, or you can't talk to a rep. Everything has to be done on chat. Well, now you're pretty much becoming a prepaid company at postpaid prices. Nobody wants that. Nobody is going to want that. Nobody is going to want to pay postpaid prices for prepaid service. I guarantee you, I'm not alone in this. So what are you going to do? You're going to jump on Mint Mobile. You're going to, use Metro because Metro is, it's still T-Mobile. I mean, there's Metro stores. They're going to start doing it with that. So you'll use Metro for a little because it's cheaper. Eventually, they'll start taking away the Metro stores too if this is where they're going. What would be the point of using a T-Mobile postpaid plan if you're going to feel like a prepaid customer? I don't think I'm wrong. I think anyone would agree. So, I don't know. I think that's the thing that might delay it for a little bit, just because they have to figure out like what they could. Maybe they'll offer cheaper plans. I mean, ultimately, I would like to think if they get rid of their customer service reps and the stores, if they go through with that and they automate that process, then maybe they'll offer more competitive plans and it'll entice people to stay, or maybe even more people to sign up if it's a really good value. I would think ultimately that would be the gift of it, of getting rid of the stores, especially for some people that don't go into it anyway. I'll be honest, I do a lot of stuff online, been doing that. But there have been times when I've had to go into a store for something maybe very rare, but at least it's nice to know that there's a store if I needed it, But some people, many people, still like that experience. They like to go in, especially if they're signing up for family plans. They want to go in and look at the phones. They want to actually talk to someone because they don't understand like how the plans work. Not everybody is a wireless enthusiast, so they don't know everything about it. They don't really care either. They just want to get their plans, but they don't know how. They don't know what's right for them. So we'll see. I do think this is where this is heading. Ultimately, it's just a matter of when. And then definitely if they start this, they're going to start a fire. I think if they begin this, they're going to start a fire, and a lot of customers are going to get burned, and a lot of people are going to follow. I think AT&T and Verizon are definitely going to find a way to follow if they're not already working on it themselves. But I feel like if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be T-Mobile first, because I feel like they already have one foot in the door. Like they're working with all the right people that know about this stuff. And they come out and say it proudly, like they're proud of it, to be working with these kind of companies to do this kind of stuff, because it's good for them. And like I said, it can lead to other things. It can lead to them offering other services. They're already working with so many companies doing different things now, So we'll see. All right, guys. I'm out of here. Let me know how you guys feel about this subject. Let me know if you want to see more of this. Either way, thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.